Alright, so just making yet another video for a blog post I made. I called it MLOps Ground Zero, essentially going over what I think is the easiest way to get started in MLOps, in particular as a data scientist. So the reason for this is there's a rising issue that I'm seeing a lot of people talk about, which is data scientists being stuck in a Jupyter notebook and lacking the basic software fundamentals to actually make their models useful and deploy them and get them in the hands of users. And so that's sort of what MLOps is here to solve. And this is a problem I fell in the trap of as well. And so I've been taking a lot of time learning MLOps. I started learning it a while back now, but yeah, I just want to make it what I think is probably the easiest way to take your first step into this domain, and that is actually to follow a code structure like this image here. And I'll go through each folder one by one, but basically MLOps is essentially just a set of best practices for deploying models. And so the easiest way to sort of deploy these models or get into deploying these models and outside of a notebook, I think, is to follow a structure like this. And a lot of it boils down to having what we call a feature store, and that sort of is baked into your source code here. So let's just go through this one by one. So the data folder, just put your data in here, raw data, process data, whatever else. Notebooks. So I know people who don't even use notebooks anymore, but if you still want to, I still do. I think they're good for exploration. And so yeah, you can just keep a notebooks folder, and you can run your notebooks in there. Probably still keep one per step of the data science lifecycle. Maybe a deployment notebook. And then we get into our source code, which is really where the meat and potatoes is. So this data folder, I think maybe would be better off called processing, but you're going to have scripts in here that actually take the data in here and process them or pre-process them. And then this is the feature store. So the feature store is going to take in these inputs or outputs. So it'll take in your process data, and then you're actually going to feed it back into a script that would go in here, your models folder. And then you're going to use that data to train your model, and then you're going to save that model in again. And part of MLOps is also tracking these things, but I'm not going to get into that just yet. And so yeah, and that's it. And then you're going to load your models in again, evaluate them, and then you can also you'll probably want to have an inference script of some kind to actually run your models on unseen data. And so that's it. You're basically breaking up this is like really where the training and deployment pipeline comes into play, breaking it up into different parts. And I think you'll probably find a use case for a utils folder. This is just common functions that you use across your code. So you can make a common.py file and put your functions in there. It's pretty common to use, so definitely keep that in there. And then hopefully you are into unit testing, so put your unit tests in here, integration tests, and that's it. And then you can have your git ignore. If you know Docker, keep your Docker file there, and then a readme and a requirements text file, and then probably some other edits and maybe additions or subtractions you can make as needed. But that's basically it. Just follow a code structure like this, and I think a lot of the MLOps knowledge will naturally flow right after this. Now I will also shout out a little script I made that I like to use. And basically you create your folders here, your folder structure in this list. So you have your data folder, notebooks folder, And then keep in mind GitHub doesn't track empty folders, so you can put .keep files here, or you can put .init. They're just placeholder files basically. And that's it. Just define your structure. You can make changes to this how you see fit, but this is what you see in the image. Define your name, and that's all you need to change. And you can just copy this and then run it, and this script will automatically generate all your folders in one place. So yeah, it's nice. It's a pretty nice, handy way to do it. Just to get you ready as soon as you start a new repo. And that's it. Yeah, hopefully that's helpful. And I guess I'll see you next time.